Hi everyone, welcome to the online class Kilora. I'm Lavanya. Last class we have discussed a basic of our tally with accounting. So today we are going overview of tally, how accounting is done using tally. So there are few steps to follow. So let's go one by one. The first one is company creation. Here, beginning by creating a new company with a Tally ERP 19 with any of your model. So this involves providing basic information such as company name, address, financial year, currency, and everything. You have to fill it. This is the first step. The second one is ledger creation. Here, set up ledger for different accounts. Ledger can represent assets, liability, income, expenses, and equity. For example, create a ledger for bank accounts, sales, purchase, salaries, and etc. This is how the ledger creation is done. In further slides, we'll go through how what are the steps we have to follow to create a ledger account with different accounts also. So the next one is voucher entry. Here, record transaction using vouchers. Tally uses a voucher system to input different types of transaction such as sales, invoice, purchase invoice, payment and receipts. So by recording the transaction using voucher, there are few different types of transactions like sales, purchase, receipt, payments. So you're going to record each transaction using a voucher system. The next one is double entry system. As you know, the accounting follows a double entry system where the total debit should always be equal and opposite to the total credit. So here you have to ensure that each transaction follows the double entry system. Every debit entry must have a corresponding credit entry to maintain the balance in the account. So this is very important to follow the double entry system. And the next one is bank reconciliation. Here, we can also use a bank reconciliation statement with tally. So by recording this tally to ensure that the accounting books matches the actual book transaction. So we'll just compare the books with an actual book transaction, bank transaction. So we'll analyze, we can reconcile bank statement with tally record also. And the next one is GST compliance. Here, if applicable, configure and enable goods and service tax features in Tally ERP 9. By generating the GST complaint invoice, manage tax ledgers, and file GST returns as required. Here it is very important, and only if it is applicable, we are going to configure it and enable the GST features in Tally. For few businesses it might not be applicable, for some of the business it might be applicable. It will depend on the nature of the business. The next one is financial statement. Here, Tally allows you to generate various financial statements including bank balance sheet, profit and loss account, cash flow statement, all these three. In financial statement, these are the three important statements. So with the help of Tally, we can also generate various statements like this. So when it comes to the balance sheet, it displays the company financial position, and the main purpose is also to display the company financial position. And this profit and loss account is nothing but a trial balance which shows the company financial performance. And next is cash flow statement, which is nothing but a statement which shows the cash inflow and outflow of the business. This main purpose of it is to reflect the cash inflow and outflow. So we can easily, investors and creditors can easily analyze and invest in the company. The next one is inventory management. Here, if your business involves inventory, Tally ERP 9 provides tools for managing stocks. So, by recording purchase and sale of goods and also generate inventory reports. Here, the business can also involve inventories also. in it. So there are many tools in the tally so that you can manage the stocks and record the purchases and sale of goods also. So you can also generate the inventory reports in it. The next one is statutory compliance. Here, tally helps business compliance with the statutory requirements. This also includes generating reports related to the tax filing and other regulatory obligations. Here, by following the rules and regulations, we can also help the business by complying with a statutory requirements. So, we can also generate the reports related to the tax filing. The next one is report and analysis. Here, utility utilize various reports available in Tally for financial analysis, budgeting, and decision making. So, with the help of preparing accounting with Tally, it helps us in various categories like they help us in analyzing the financial statement and helps us in budgeting and also decision making and many other things. So this report also helps us in various forms, so this tally will be useful for us in accounting. The next one is, let's know how to record the vouchers like sales, purchase, payments and receipts in tally. So, by recording this voucher in Tally involves entering various types of transactions such as sales, purchase, payment, and receipt. So, we have to follow these steps for recording these transactions. Let's go one by one. So, the first step is go to the gateway of Tally. Here you have to go to the gateway of Tally. Before that, you have to open the Tally and select the company you want to work with. So you might have two or three companies. So you have to select which company you are going to work for. So you have to go through there and click on it, and then go to the gateway of Tally and choose the type of voucher you want to record, such as payment, receipt, sales, purchase, whatever you want. The second one is accounting voucher for the main menu. Here in the main menu, you have to go to the main menu and select the accounting voucher. Which type of voucher you want? As I told, you want a payment or receipt or a sales or a purchase type of voucher. Then choose F8 sales or use the shortcut key F8. If you want a sales voucher, purchase voucher, payment voucher, there'll be more options there. You have to select which voucher do you want, then enter the transaction detail. So here you have to enter the transaction details, which includes date, party name, and also name hold, and also the amount you have to be entered, and other relevant information will be asked, so you have to fill it. After entering the detailed transaction in the type of voucher, the next step will be specify the sales ledger and enter the amount in the credit column. So after that, you have to, once you enter it, you have to specify the sales ledger and enter the amount in the credit column. After that, you have to save the voucher. After following all the steps, the last step is very important. You have to save it. Also, you can also press Alt A, Control A, or by selecting the save option also. Whichever is suitable, easy for you, you can do it. And finally, by repeating this step, you can create all other vouchers you need to record. So the specified steps might depend on various versions of Tally. So you can use easily. Once you know the basic, you can easily use the Tally. And it is also good idea for consulting the Tally documents also. Whether if you're okay with this, or you can go and consult the Tally documentations also. And here, one more thing, there are different types of transactions here, like payment voucher, that is used for the payment made to creditors, suppliers, or any other different expenses also. And one more is receipt voucher. Here, this receipt voucher is recorded for the money received from the debitor's customers. And the sales voucher is used to record the sales made to the customer. And the purchase voucher is used to record the purchase made from suppliers. And there is debit note and credit note also. Here in the debit note used to record the return of goods purchased from the suppliers or any other debit transaction. Or when it comes to the credit note, it is used to record the return of goods sold to the customers, or any other credit transaction can be recorded in it. And there is one more voucher, that is contra voucher. Here it is used to record the transaction involved cash and bank account. So such cash deposit or withdrawals are recorded in the contra voucher. So contra voucher is nothing but a cash and bank account voucher. The next one is journal voucher. Here it is used to record the non-cash transactions such as adjustment, provisions, and other transfers. So these are the types of voucher. You can go through the same steps to follow and enter all the transactions here. The next one is purchase voucher entry. Same as I told, you have to go to the gateway of Tally and press what type of company with the details in it, and you have to select the main menu and select the accounting voucher, and then you have to choose what type of voucher you are going to enter. If it is purchase, you are going to enter the purchase, or you can use a shortcut key F9 and enter the purchase details in it, and it includes date, party account, amount column, and the items purchased in it. All the details you have to fill it, and then you have to specify the ledger purchase and enter the amount in the debit column and save the voucher. This is how you do to enter the purchase voucher and create a purchase voucher. The next one is payment voucher entry. Here, the first step is you have to go to the gateway of Tally and select which company you are working, and then you have to select the accounting voucher from the main menu, and then you have to choose the payment option in it. Or you can use the shortcut key F5 for the payment and enter the payment details. It includes date, party name, and other payment modes, amount, and etc. And you have to specify the bank or cash ledger and then enter the amount in the credit column, and you have to save the voucher. This is how you create a payment voucher. The next one is receipt voucher entry. As as same like a purchase voucher, payment voucher, sales voucher. This is also same procedure, but here the first step is a gateway of Tally and which company you're going to work with and where you're going to enter, and you have to click the main menu, and then you have to select the accounting voucher, and then you have to choose the receipt voucher. That your the shortcut key for the receipt is F6, and you have to enter the details of the receipt voucher like date, amount, parties, account, and receipt mode, cash or bank or whatever it may be, and specify the bank or cash ledger and enter the amount in the debit column, and you have to save the voucher here. This is how you enter the different types of voucher in the Tally. This is the same step you are going to follow in every types of voucher. The next topic is handling contra entries. Here, as I told, the contra entries is nothing but used to record all the transactions which are related to the cash and bank account. And this involves the transfer of fund between the cash and bank account. Vice versa also. Essentially, it represents the transaction where money is deposited or withdrawal from the bank or cash is deposited with or withdrawn. The navigation to the contra voucher is go to the gateway of Tally, and the second step is you have to click the main menu, and you have to select the accounting voucher, and you have to go to the choose the contra voucher there, and you have to fill the details related to the contra voucher with the name, date, receipt, same as how you follow to create a voucher there. And then you have to fill it and specify the ledger, and you have to select the amount or fill the amount in the debit or credit column, and then you have to save it. This is how same procedure is followed in uh, every types of vouchers where you're going to create it. Here there are different types of things involved in handling the contra voucher. Here the first one is identifying the transaction. By determining the nature of transaction that involved in the transfer of fund between the cash and bank account, here the common example which includes cash withdrawal from the bank, cash deposited in the bank, or transfer between different bank account. Here the cash will be going out of the bank or cash will be coming into the bank. This is only two way our amount will be transferring. So for we have to determine what type of nature of transaction is going to, whether it is coming to the bank or whether it is going out of the bank. After analyzing this, the next step is choose the appropriate voucher type. In accounting software or manual accounting system, choose the appropriate voucher type of contra entries. Commonly used voucher type includes contra voucher or bank or cash voucher. Depends on the terminology used in the accounting system. When you are preparing an accounting without any tally, you're going to enter the bank account, cash account easily, and you can prepare a journal ledger also. But when it comes to the tally, you have to consider that bank or cash account is also called as contra voucher in the tally. So you should not be getting confused that the what is this contra voucher. You have to analyze that this is only bank or cash account voucher, so only the bank related and cash related vouchers are entered in this voucher. So you have to depend, it will be dependent on the terminology used in the accounting system. Same in what you are going to use in the accounting system, you are also going to use that kind of process in the tally. The next one is record the contra entry. Here for cash withdrawal from the bank. Here what you're going, the debit, in the debit column the cash account will be there, in the credit column the bank account. Here in debit the cash account, it records the debit entry to the cash account to reflect the increase in cash. In debit column, if you are going to enter the cash account, it reflects that you are increasing the cash. When it comes to the credit the bank account, it records in the credit entry, it records that it decreases in the bank balance. It's going out of the bank. When it comes to the debit column, it is coming into the bank, so it is increasing in cash. When it is going, it is decreasing in the bank balance. This is how you have to understand. The next one is you have to ensure accuracy and balance. By double checking this total debit equal to the total credit in the contra entry to maintain the accounting equation balance. So as you know that in accounting you're going to follow the accounting equation, that is asset is equals to liability plus equity. You have to analyze this and you have to double check this whether the total debit is always should be equal to the total credit in the contra entry also, because it is easily maintained by the accounting equation balance. The next one is record in the journal ledger. Here, by posting the contra entry to the journal ledger, we have to ensure that the respective cash or bank account is updated with the transaction detail. You have to verify it whether the details are matching or got updated or what. So if it has any error or the mistake, you can also change it. If it is not, it will be a big problem. So you have to ensure that the respective cash or bank account are updated with the transaction details. The next one is reconcile bank statement. When it is related to the bank account, you have to regularly reconcile the bank statement with the journal ledger, so we can ensure that the recorded contra entries matches the actual bank transaction. We have to ensure that all the recorded contra entries matches the actual bank transaction. So by verifying this, it will be easy for us to handle the financial statements. So, by a financial report also. By following these steps, you can effectively handle the contra entries in accounting, ensure accurate and balanced financial report. The next one is bank reconciliation in Tally. As you know, this bank reconciliation is nothing but a process of comparing the bank statement with your own records so you can ensure they are matching. If there is any error or missing or incorrect transaction, you can ensure that you can correct it. So this will be helpful for you in preparing the financial report also. It is nothing but just detecting the errors, frauds, or any other missing on incorrect transactions. So it makes sure that you are liking to double check that you are make sure everything is in order. So it will be helpful you to analyze it easily. And in this, there are types of bank reconciliation. There are only two types of bank reconciliation, that is manual and automatic. Here, when it comes to the manual bank reconciliation, it is a type of reconciliation which involves manually comparing the transaction in your tally records with this transaction on the bank statement. You need to make the transaction that matches or reconcile them to ensure the accuracy of your records. A manual reconciliation is nothing but just in comparing the transaction manually with your tally records. When it comes to the automatic bank reconciliation, it provides an automatic bank reconciliation feature that can help streamline the process. So, with this feature, you can import the bank statement directly into the tally and it will automatically matches the transaction in your tally record with the ones of the bank statement. So, by entering this feature, you can automatically import the bank statement into the tally. So it helps you to automatically match the transaction in the tally records. So it will be easy you to. By this, it helps you to save your time and reduce the chances of error also. Sometimes manually it might have mistakes, some but automatically it might reduces the chances of error also. So in tally, while using this tally, you can choose any of this method which is best for you. So this is the two types of bank reconciliation. When it comes to the steps guide how to perform the bank reconciliation statement in tally. Here, the first one is obtain bank statement. The first one is obtain bank statement. That is, you have to get the most recent bank statement for your bank from your bank. So it covers the period for reconciliation. This is the first step. The second one is enter the transaction in tally. So you have to make sure that all the transaction which includes deposits, withdrawal, and also other related entries, you have to withdraw or deposit or any other entries should record manually in the tally. So this is how you enter the transactions in tally, whichever is suitable for your work or whichever is related to your business type of business. The next one is start bank reconciliation. So you have to go to the gateway of tally and enter what choose company, and you have to go to the bank main menu, and then you have to go and select the banking under gateway of Tally. And the next step is you have to select the bank ledger. So after starting the bank reconciliation, you have to select the bank ledger. So you have to choose the bank ledger from which you want to perform the reconciliation. And then the next step is you have to click on statement of account. So in the bank reconciliation, click on the statement of account to review the list of transactions recorded in Tally. So when it is related to the bank ledger, you will go and click on the statement of account. So when you click on the statement of account, what type of account you want, it will show the list of the transaction recorded in Tally. If for example, if you're going to select cash account, so it will show the overview of all the list of transactions related to the cash account recorded in the Tally. When it is given a purchase or sale, whatever type of account statement you want, you have to go and click on it, so it will overview related to the bank ledger and shows the list of transactions recorded in Tally. The next one is compare with bank statement. Here, you have to compare the transaction which you are done and compare with the bank reconciliation statement. So, while comparing, you'll analyze or detect the errors or any incorrect transactions or any missing transactions or will be verified. So, you might it helps you to double check this statements. So you have to compare the transaction listed in the Tally with the entries on bank statement and mark off the each transaction that matches. Here it shows, by comparing it shows it will mark off on each transaction that is matched. So there'll be different types of transaction, so you can match the transaction which are which transactions are matched, and you can mark it off, so it will easily compare with your bank statements. This is how you compare with the bank statement. And the next one is identify the discrepancies. Here, by identifying this between the Tally and the bank statement, such as missing transactions, errors, or unmatched entries, will be identified. As I told, while comparing with your bank statement and with your account trial Tally, you'll compare it and identify the transactions which are missing, which are errors, which are any transaction which has any unmatched entries. And the next one is had unrecorded transactions. Here you will find on any transaction in the bank statement that is not recorded in Tally, enter them as per the actual transaction details. If there is any missing transaction related to your bank statement, you are going to which is not recorded in Tally, you're going to enter that kind of transaction in the Tally without any without any manipulation. You are going to enter it actual transaction details in it and add it. And the next one is mark transaction as cleared. Here in Tally, marked off the reconciled transactions as cleared to indicate that they have been verified against the bank statement. Here, if the transaction are compared with the bank statement, the things which are compared will be marked off as a cleared statement, so you'll not be confused or any uh, confusions might not be there. So you can't you'll be confused that whether this statement is corrected or compared or what, whether this statement is compared or what, you won't be any confusions in there. So it will be helpful used to verify whether this statement is done or whether this statement is done through a clear statement, that is cleared statement in it, so it will be marked off. So this helps you to indicate that you have been verified against the bank statement. Once you are compared, you have to mark it off as a cleared transaction. The next one is review and compare. Here, by reviewing this reconciliation transaction, it will be confirmed that the closing balance in the tally matches the closing balance on the balance sheet. So, by reviewing this all reconciled transaction, you will be confirmed that the closing balance amount in the tally will always matches the closing balance in the bank statement. So, once the amount closing amount balance is matching with the tally, that is you are going to balance the tally amount and tally closing balance and the bank statement closing balance is matching, that will be perfect. So you're going in a good process and it will be correct without any error and detection, you're going well. And after knowing that it is all correct, you have to save it and exit. So everything is important, so you have to save it at last also. If it is not saved, the things you have done till now, it will be erased. So you have to save the reconciliation details and exit the bank reconciliation screen. Then you can enter other transaction vouchers, any kind of bank reconciliations, any type of contra vouchers, you can easily enter in the tally. This is how you enter all the vouchers, ledgers, bank reconciliations in tally.